hope you've been practicing Cuckoo and learning the Charlie Brown song and the Cuckoo song. And I want to give you something to polish and something that will add an interesting thing to your practicing, and that is wrist circles. Can you make your wrists go around in circles? We are going to use wrist circles to kind of rebound from arm weight and make this more musical. So when you are playing legato notes, you want to use your wrist to follow the note that's playing. I'm going to move my camera so that it's a little more behind me, so you won't get to see my face, but you will get to see my arm, okay? So what we do here, can you see my wrist really well? When I'm playing this note, I'm going to move my wrist over. Do you see that? Now my wrist and my arm are straight behind this note that's playing. And so I'm going to do a little circle and follow the notes that I'm playing. So start with this one, and then when we get to this note, I want to move my wrist back to center, so then my arm is pointing straight at my third finger. And then we're going to go back up again, and then back to the middle. So what we do in order to follow the melody note with the wrist in a pattern like this is you start to make a slow circle. And that way your wrist and your arm are supporting the notes that you're playing. Coo, coo, coo. And then we get to do this whole circle with the next part. Watch, because we're going to be going down and then back up and then back down again. So we get to do a whole wrist circle that just follows all of those notes. So see, my wrist is following and preparing to go back to that one. So your wrist is not only following the note, but it's also kind of preparing for what's next. So because of that, you're going to do a circle with your wrist. So this part, high in the treetops, D, C, D, E, C. My wrist is going to circle down, and then on the E, that's a half note, you're going to circle it around and up and over and back to the C, okay? So watch again, I'll play the whole line, and then you can see my wrist circles. Can you see it really well? Okay, so we have circle, circle, and then a big circle. So basically what you're doing is a bunch of circles in this direction. So down to the right, up to the left, down, over, up, and left. So each one of those is a circle. So we go coo, coo, that's one circle. Coo, coo, that's another circle. So you could change the words if you wanted just for this exercise and say circle, circle, like this. Circle, circle, go in a circle. So the high in the tree tops is just one bigger circle. So you have little circle, and then a big circle that takes two measures to do the next circle. So the thing I want you to keep in mind, though, is the circle isn't just to draw a circle in the air to be like fancy or pretty or showy or something. The reason we're drawing the circles is so that your arm can follow the note that's playing and your wrist can be directly behind the note that's playing. So if we're playing this note, that's why we're moving our wrist over here. And if we're moving to the middle, that's why we do a circle to get from here to here. So now your arm is behind the note that's playing. Does that make sense? So here we go. So now we're going to change our circles because the shape of the melody changes. What do we do for Cuckoo, I Need You, Cuckoo, I Love You? We have some repeated notes, but then we have that same kind of motion like we had our first circles with the words cuckoo. Cuckoo, I need you. So that whole phrase is one big circle to the right, up and around. Cuckoo, I need, because you're following with your wrist. This note, and then circling around to get back to the D again. Okay? Cuckoo, I need you. And then we're going to do these three. Same thing, kind of the same pattern. So you're going to start in the middle with your arm in the middle, and then shift just a little bit to the right to be behind this finger, and then shift all the way to the right to behind your pinky, and then we're going to come back down by doing a circle up with your wrist. So, cuckoo, I love you. Okay, so that middle line goes like this. Cuckoo, I need you. That's the first circle. Cuckoo, I love you. And that's the second circle. Does that make sense? So that's how we do the wrist circles. And then the very last line is similar, but it's going to be different at the end because we're walking all the way down to C. So watch what we do. Cuckoo, cuckoo, shame upon you. So by the time we get to the thumb at the end, we've done this nice circle all the way around to get the arm over here behind the thumb. So that's how you do circles with the cuckoo right hand melody. Bye-bye.